Hi, today I'll go through another submitted creative writing piece, and the topic on this one is the grass is always greener on the other side. So, I guess the process will be I'll read through the piece, correcting it as I go, and at the end I'll bring up some points to focus on for the exam, and also make, I guess, general comments about the topic itself. Okay, Julie walked across the field, her blonde hair trailing behind her like a wisp of fire under the light of the sun. She did this every day, because every day the grass below her feet always seemed to become a richer shade of emerald green. Um, okay, first let's do track changes. Um, to be honest, that's really good. Um, it's really good use of description. Um, What else could I say? I like this blonde hair trailing behind her like wisps of fire under the light of the sun. You said that she did this every day, so because every day the grass below her feet always seemed to become a richer shade of emerald green. That's fantastic because you've already alluded to what the topic is. And you've also, quite interestingly, put it in a figurative sense as well. Okay, so 10 days after the first time she walked across the field, she invited Caitlin to walk with her. Um, they were like two sides of a coin, where Julie was more, I guess, where Julie was calm, so we can get rid of that. And this is something you can do in your 1 minute of review at the end. While where Julie was calm and serene, Caitlin was objective and algorithmic, and Caitlin didn't place social axioms of courtesy as highly as Julie did. That's also really good. So as you can see, yeah, this is a as I'm reading through, it's sounding like a really good story, and it's making sense. Ah, Julie screamed. When they were at the very edge of the hills, when they were at the very edge of the hill where the luxurious soft grass ended. What's wrong? Julie asked. This grass is so bright that it nearly burnt my eyes. Julie shouted angrily. You know, hang on, so who's asking what's wrong? Um, this grass is so bright. Okay, I think that should be Caitlin. Caitlin shouted angrily. So these are small minor changes that you should do right at the end for that 1 to 2 minutes. I think that we should find out why this grass is such a dazzling shade of emerald green, Julie said. After all, I'm pretty sure the grass wasn't this green the first time I came here. Fine, Caitlin said, after my eyes stopped watering. Okay, now I'm a bit confused. So let's look at it again. What's wrong? Julie asked. Because who is screaming? It's Kate. I think it would be Caitlin screaming. So Caitlin screamed. What's wrong? Julie asked, because obviously Julie's the more calm one. This grass is so bright that it nearly burnt my eyes, Caitlin shouted angrily. I think we should find out why this grass is such a dazzling shade of emerald green, Julie said. After all, I'm pretty sure the grass wasn't this green the first time I came here. Fine, Caitlin said, after my eyes stopped watering. So I can see here in the story it's supposed to be Caitlin. Again, they're just really small things that sometimes within exams we forget, and it's just good to, I guess, make those quick changes. These are things you can do quite easily. Fine, Caitlin said, after my eyes stopped watering. Walking back, however, Julie could have sworn she saw a man watering the grass. Okay, so I guess this is, if I was reading through this was where the part I think, okay, the intrigue is starting. So at dawn the next day, the duo looked at the pillow of grass from a tuft of weeds to see. Okay, so at dawn the next day, the duo looked at the pillow of grass from a turf of weeds to see when the color of the grass became richer. Finally, they saw a man with a coarse grey hat and a lean stature, walking forward holding a watering can. "Who are you?" Julie asked, jumping from their hiding place. "I'm just watering the plants," the man said, clearly too stunned to respond with anything but the truth. "Yes, but why is this patch of grass greener?" Caitlin asked. "Oh," the man said with an approving nod, "because the water I give them has a higher amount of iron, which makes them much greener." They looked at each other, stunned, and then they began laughing, and then began laughing. "So that's why the grass was always greener on the other side," said Julie said with a humongous grin. Okay, I guess let's see, first thoughts. I think overall it's very well written. Um, I haven't no structural issues. You know, great use of sentences, words, great choices. Yeah, it's generally um, a really good story. You've referenced the topic, and that's what I want to talk about. Okay, you've referenced the topic to being the grass. You've referenced the topic within the story. Well, um, by saying, okay, well, there's one man who waters it more, and it's a light story. It's a funny story because it's just something so simple that it's just a funny story, and the intrigue was finding out the man. So I can easily explain what this story is about. It's a story about two girls who suspect that there's something wrong with the grass, and when it turns out it's just a simple man doing his job, and that's just it's a very light-hearted story. It's really well written, so it's really good in a lot of ways. I guess the only thing I could then pick up on is in terms of, I guess, the interpretation of the question. And to be honest, given the points about how this is being written, the creative writing piece, you should be quite happy because you're in a very good position. It's in terms of how it's been written, it's fantastic, and if you can apply that to the other creative writing pieces that you write, especially the one this Saturday in the exam, this is fantastic. And I noticed the only things I've had to correct with this is sort of a few changes in words, and get rid of one word or replace it with another, but I haven't actually needed to change any of the paragraphs or in large chunks. So I guess it's a testament to how well this is written. Um, and a great thing as well about this is that I actually understand step by step what's happening. I can explain it quite clearly, so it's very well written. So you should be very happy with yourself. Okay, so the only thing I'll say is really then the interpretation of the question. The idea of the grass is greener on the other side is really something that is a figurative interpretation. What the grass is greener on the other side. It's sort of like it's like a saying, which means that you really should appreciate or whilst what you have here is okay, if you venture to guess the other side, you may find something better. And so what do I mean with that? So it's supposed to represent, I guess, things in life. So just say a job. So just say a person stays in their job. So just say um, they're a bus driver and they've got a great job. It's relaxing. It's they get paid. They can pay and support their family, and in most cases, it's a steady, great job. However, the grass is always greener on the other side. If say you're a bus driver and you want to train up to become something else like a teacher, um, if you go out and venture up and then try something new, say teaching, you might find that it's better. Okay, and that's the better is this idea of greener grass. Okay, so grass that's much more, I guess, that grows well because I guess the person who's a bus driver becomes a teacher and they enjoy it, and it's a transition that they need to make. So moving to the other side that's unknown at the moment, but from that they grow much better. So they're much greener in a way if you think about the metaphor. So that's really what the grass is greener on the other side in terms of the topic is, okay? And it's really a symbolic, even a figurative type of, I guess, topic. In this case, what you've done is it's been a literal interpretation. There's nothing wrong with that, I don't think, because at the end of the day, you've given a really good writing, a very strong written piece. The topic isn't figurative. I'm not sure how the examiners would view that, to be honest. I would, I guess, it's the topic does need to be considered, but it's very difficult to say um, if they will how seriously they'll take it, because at the end of the day, my view on this is the writing piece is actually excellent. You've used the topic, you've incorporated topic in there. It's been a literal interpretation, in that literal meaning literally that the grass is greener, and you've made it a really great and fun light story about it. Fun light story. So it's really hard to say with how they'll force you to interpret it. However, given what you've produced from this, I think it's fantastic. So yeah, big tick. Not sure if you wanted more critical, more I guess critical analysis of it, but and usually I do analyze things quite critically. But this is a great piece of writing, in my opinion. So best of luck for your exam, and yeah, hopefully you can produce something like this there. Um, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Okay, so best wishes.